Morning, fine, Megan. I am Cindy Li Wenxuan. Now I'm going to talk about our car rental system. My pass is for the register and login and display the menu. At first, I had declared the void function for register, login, and menu. Now let us to go through the register and login parts. At first, I had declared the register name, login name, register password, and login password as string, and I had declared option and count as integer. Here is the interface of the login and register interface and name as welcome. And the system will let the user enter their choice, which is 1 and 2 only. Here got an error checking. I use while loop. When the user enter is not equal to integer, it will let the user enter the choice again. And when the integer is not equal to 1 and not equal to 2, it will count a statement is invalid. Try again to register 1 and log in for 2. And it will go to the welcome interface again. Let us try the system for error checking. Here is the interface. When user enter A, it will let the user enter the choice again. If the user enter not equal to 1 and 2 is 4, it will let the user enter again their choice. Next, I use the if statement. If the option is equal to 1, which is register, it will let the user select their username and select the password. Meanwhile, an F-string object name as file in is declared and it will open in the append mode. If the file reglg system.txt is exists, new data will be added to the end of the file. And the enter username and user password are written to the file. And next, the file in is closed. Let us try the register. The register is name as list and password. It will go through the main menu, means that the register is successful, and the system will open a file as reglg. It will store the username and user password. Now let us try the login function. If the user enter the option is equal to 2, it means the login. And meanwhile, it will also declare a f-string object name as file read and open the file reglog system.txt in input mode. Here got a loop is read the path of the login name and login password, and it will continue to read the file to the end. And this login name and login password is temporary variable used to read the data from file and compare with the register name and register password. And in the while loop, got a if statement is if the login name is equal to register name and login password is equal to register password, it will have a condition is count equal to 2, which means it's successfully logged in. And if the count is not equal to 2, it means the failed login, and you need to try again your login password or login username. Let us try the login pass. If the user enter is wrong, my password before is 123, and I enter 1234, it will let the user enter again their username or password. And we now enter a correct username and password. It will count a statement is successfully logged in and go to the main menu. And next is for the menu parts. This is the interface of the main menu, and it will let the user enter their choice. If the choice is not equal to 1, 2, 3, or 4, the loop will count a statement is invalid choice and try again between 1 to 4. And let us try the choice. If the choice is 5, 6, it will let the user try again the choice. And if the choice is correct number 1, it will go to the correct page. And these two function will be called in integer main. Here got function call for register login and function call for menu. That's all for my part. Thank you.
My name is Lisa Chi. I will talk about the display available car part and rent a car part. After the main menu part, we will come to the display available car part. We use the array to display our available car in the car rental system. When we choose the option 1, it will show the car model, car year, and the car price and the availability of the car. It prints the table header with column of the name, year, and price per day of the car. It goes through the array of car and check each car is available when rental is equal to 4. If the rental is equal to true, then the car will show it when it will be rented, and the rented time will show at the screen also. Then we can press enter to go back the main menu after watching all the display available car. In case 2, we use the function called display available car to enter the rental car page. The function continues to display a separate section of car that are already rented. For rented car, it shows the rental information include the time since it was rented and car price. If the entered car number is valid and select car is not already rented, it record the rental time. The user is prompted to enter the number 1 to 5 of the car they want to rent. They want to rent as we declare the car in integer. Input validation is performed to ensure a valid number is entered. We also have error checking in this part. If the user enter wrong value, it will show the invalid and ask the user try again. If the user enter correct value, it will goes to an invoice like message it display confirming the rental car detail. The total available car and user's confirmation to rent another car are represent. It will show the car name and when the user rent the car. The user is prompt to confirm their choice, press Y to confirm the renting. If the user press N means no to rent the car that choice just now, the loop will exist and return back to the rent a car page. Now let's run the program. For the main menu, it will have 4 choices, which is display available car, rent a car, and return a car, and exit. Now we enter the option 1, which is display a available car. It will show the car name, car year, and the price of the car and the availability of the car. And now we press enter. It will go back to the main menu. So now let's retry to rent a car. It will show the display car also. And here we have the error checking. If now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 car. If now we press 6, it is invalid. So it will tell us to try again to enter the correct value. Now we enter 1. This is the correct value. So it will goes to the invoice rental part. If we confirm that our information are correct, so we press Y, it will go to this price invoice page. And okay, then we go back to our display available car part. We can see that number 1 car is already rented. And rent a car choice number 2. We also can see our car 1 is already rented by us just now. That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Kong Lee Jie, and now I will explain about the rent car display. First, I will choose the car first, like the car 1. After that, I press Y to confirm my choice. And now we'll go to my part that is under case 2 after the display available cars. So this is how the function display look like, and this is the source code. For the car name, the car value will get by the car arrays, and the index is 0. And the price will get by the price array, and the index also 0. After I input the value like 5 days, the day will store in the array period of day, and this array will use in other parts for the display value, and the day variables also will use for the calculation for storing the array price of car with the array price. For the variables days, I also have do some error checking, like we cannot input the value except the number, like letter or special characters. So that's all for my grand display part. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Ivan. So I will explain about the display invoice. First, I declare the display invoice function, which takes an array of rent car, indices the rent car and the total number of rent car, num car as parameters. So under the void rent car, the first line is to declare an array rent cars of size 5, and the purpose of this array is to store the indices of the car they are currently rent. Next, I initialize the variable numRent to 0. This variable will keep track of the number of cars they are currently rent. So the loop assume these are 5 cars and it run from I equals to 0 to I equals to 4. So the if will check if the car at index I is marked as rent, or the condition rent I evaluates to true if the car is rent. So if the car is rent, the index I is added to the rent cars array and numRent is implemented. This line effectively collects the indices of all the rent car. So after a loop, the display invoice function is called. So the purpose of this code is to identify and collect the indices of cars that are currently rent. The rent cars array is used to provide specific information to the display invoice function, ensuring that the general invoice is focused on the rent car. So now we go to display invoice. Okay, so the function begins by checking whether there are any rental car or not. If there are no rental car, which is 0, it will print a message no cars rent. If there are rental car, it will go to the next. First, we use system CLS, which is a command they use in C++ to clear the console screen. So next, the loop is to start a loop to iterate to each rental car based on the provided indices in the rent car array. For this part, the car index equal to rental car, retrieve the index of the current rental car from the rental car array. Then it will continue to displaying information for each rental car. The detailed information for each rental car, including car name, rental period, price per day, and total price. And next, for the total, the function is to calculate the total amount paid by summing up the total price of all the rental car. After processing all rental car, it displays the total amount payable. Then we let the user to press enter to continue to providing a pause for the user to review the display information. The purpose of the display invoice function is to generate a details invoice for rental car in the car rental systems. It plays a crucial role in providing user with a clear breakdown of the costs associated with their car rentals. Okay, so now we check the output of the invoice. We register first, and we rent the car first. Example, like first one, yes, and like 3 days. You pause the invoice first to let the user check the invoice. So it will sum the total price times the rental times, so it's 13. Next we rent one more, like 4. So this time we rent 5 days, and we show 200, and we sum out the first one. So that's all for the invoice part. Okay, that's all for it. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Dong Chen, and now I'll explain the return car part. It's at the main function case 3, and this function name is return car. When there is a car is rented, the array return will become true, and the information of the car will display like the rent time, rent period, price of day, and the total price. All of this information is stored in the array, and I'm using the for loop for detect all the car status. If any car rented status is true by the value get in rented array, they will display out. If the one return a car or no car display, we can press 0 back to the main menu by using the if statement where the car index equals to 0. And more than that, we cannot choose a car that haven't rent yet, like the car 3 I choose. This car is haven't rent yet, and the status is false, so by the if statement, we will go back to the display by using goTo. If we choose the car 1 to return, and it will detect the car status is that I choose is true or not. If the status is true, it will come up 3 options to choose. For the Y, if we finish, return the car 1, the car 1 return status will become false again for the next time rent again. And the available will +1 for the display rent car part to show how many car can rent. After that, we will still stay at the return car page for choose car to return again. And for the choose end, after we choose the car one, the status also will become false for the next time ran again, and available also will +1 for the display, but this time we will return to the main page by using the return. And for the last one, if we choose C, we will go to the return car page again or choose another times. For this function, I also have to do some error checking, like we cannot type the number more than 5 and less than 0. And also cannot type the letter or the special character.